Hi guys, welcome back to the Comic Cave for the weekly comic show. Today it's just me in the cave, and I'm going to try and keep it at around 10 minutes for the show. Before we get into it, if you can please like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Tell your friends about the channel so we can grow it so it becomes massive. Stick around for a few seconds and we can start straight after the intro. Welcome back everyone. So let's start with news from the rumor mill once again. This one broke this week saying that in a last minute change, the Marvels will introduce the 90s X-Men Beast. You know, the one that was played by Kelsey Grammer? So apparently in the post-credit scene, he'll be the one that wakes up Monica Rambeau in a different dimension, so it links the Fox universe into Deadpool 3. People are speculating that the TVA are going around looking for all the prime versions of the MCU characters to fight the Council of Kangs, but they struggle to get Hugh Jackman's Wolverine on board. Another big rumor that a number of sources are breaking is that we'll see Tom Holland's Spider-Man face off against Tom Hardy's Venom in an upcoming project. Now there are a few options here. It could be Venom 3, or Spider-Man 4, which is probably more likely. But the other options for Marvel Spider-related shows coming up are Kraven, Madam Web, or maybe even a live-action fight scene in Beyond the Spider-Verse. Drop a comment below and let's see who gets it right. Out of left field, I'm guessing it's going to be in a multiverse project like Doctor Strange 3. I heard that Thor 5 is in development at Marvel, but they won't be asking Taika Waititi back to direct it. I also heard that James Gunn at DC is looking at doing a Vic Sage series. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the character, his name is The Question. I love how Gunn and Safran are finding those lesser-known characters and developing them into mainstream properties. Now, I don't like dwelling on negative news, but this is pretty big. The Variety headline that came out for an expose article called Crisis at Marvel, well, it's shaken the industry to its core. The article speaks to all the problems that are going on with the MCU. I mean, the multitude of B-list characters, lack of audience excitement, actor problems, and budget cuts. All that coupled with the fact that Kevin Feige hasn't had the personal bandwidth to put his finishing touches on the series that have been greenlit, and they're being said to have left Marvel movies in a very poor state with a pessimistic outlook for any upcoming projects. It was a hard-hitting article, and I suggest you read it in order to get a better idea of industry challenges. And unfortunately, I agree, I can see real superhero fatigue setting in. The trailer for Echo dropped this week, and this is a first, but all 5 episodes will be released at once on the 10th of January on Disney+. I don't know how many people asked for the series, or if it was just pushing an agenda again, but we'll have to wait and see the audience reaction to it. Then, with Marvel's having the lowest opening pre-sales for any MCU movie post-COVID, the big problem is that it cost over $250 million to make. It was confirmed Blade will be under $100 million, and Mahershala Ali was already upset he wouldn't be the main focus in the movie, with like a quarter of the screen time that was one of the scripts that was written. So that one was supposed to have the passing of the torch, where his daughter Bloodline takes over. Remember, Secret Invasion and Marvels cost $250 million to make. That's each. They didn't get great reviews. Another big problem is that Jonathan Majors Kang might well be replaced a lot sooner than planned. The MCU had planned the next 7 to 9 years around him being the main villain, but he was essentially defeated in Quantumania, and it just doesn't strike that same type of fear that Thanos did. Most people I've chatted to agree that it would be Dr. Doom to take over, and I could possibly see Doom come in and slay the Council of Kangs, to become the new big bad before Secret Wars. How do you feel about bringing back the OG Avengers? And I'm talking about Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man and Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. I think also Chris Evans as Captain America, but nothing's been said yet, and I'm guessing that's because he's supposedly still alive on Earth 616. Do you think that it would ruin their sacrifices in the previous MCU phase? It's the perfect time now with the potential soft reboot on the cards. There are more and more articles coming out suggesting that this is what Disney is thinking of doing to revive the MCU to its former glory. Now, last week I showed you one part of the new vintage display I've put up, my Brave Star collection. Now, today I want to show you my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection. As you can see here, I have completed wave 1 to 7 of the vintage Turtles. I didn't have as much space as I would have liked to build a larger diorama with the Turtles blimp, but as you can see here, there's all the characters, and you can see the sewer lair with Shredder and a foot soldier on top looking for turtles, and the sneaky Donnie in disguise sneaking past them. I like to hide little things in my displays, kind of like Easter eggs for myself. But down the bottom you can see the Technodrome. Again, this gives away my age, but I loved watching the cartoons when I was a kid. Actually, these are the comics that got me hooked on waiting for the next issue monthly. It would have been the Archie series of Turtles. I mean, if you know, you know. Now, speaking of comics, with all the scammers out there, I've heard a few stories of unscrupulous people selling facsimile covers as if they were the first prints. So, I wanted to explain what a facsimile print is and how you can tell if it's an actual key or a reprint. So recently, both Marvel and DC have been doing reprint facsimile covers for key comics, and the covers look identical. And this is because people often can't afford the originals and still want to read the stories. I have other friends who use these comics in their collection until they can find low-grade copies to replace them, just so their collections seem more complete. But recently, these scammers have been listing these reprints as originals with comparative pricing for the first prints and taking novice collectors for a ride. So quickly, I want to advise you on how you can see the differences, or, well, you can look at the price, and that sometimes gives it away. But if you look on the inside of the first page, usually it's at the bottom of the inside page, but with modern comics, it could be a page or two later. You will see the publishing information and the dates written in very small writing like this. And it'll tell you when the issue was published. However, if you don't want to open the actual comic or want a quick check, the simplest way is to judge it is by looking at the barcode. Every comic post the 70s has a comic barcode. And the way to read it is that the first 3 digits are the issue number, the next digit is the variant number, and the last digit is the printing number. So let's take this classic example, Ultimate Fallout 4, which is the first appearance of Miles Morales. As you can see on the original first printing barcode, it says 00411, meaning it's the 4th issue, first variant, and first printing. The reprint cover, however, looks exactly the same, but if you look at the barcode, you see that it says 00111 because it's the first issue of the reprinting. You have to be aware and watch out for dodgy people. Generally, if a deal seems too good to be true, it pretty much is. Okay, well, that's it for me this week. I hope you enjoyed the show, everyone. Please drop a comment just to say hi if you want to. Till next week, catch you on the side of the flipping. Okay, bye.